interactive session. So yeah.
Mungkin Bapak Ibu ada yang ingin ditanyakan seputar Red Hat Academy updates dari institusi Bapak Ibu, mungkin ada yang ingin disampaikan ke kami seputar masukan ataupun mungkin ada kendala yang dialami di institusi Bapak Ibu. Nah, ini aku sedikit untuk share top participant of students ya, high students di 2025. Tadi juga sempat saya share juga di grup. Semoga Bapak Ibu dapat mengikuti langkah teman-teman dari instructor di sini yang sudah mendapatkan benefit juga karena sudah menerima status advance atau tier status in RC program. Jadi global team memberikan excellence program berupa exam gratis untuk instructor dan student ambassador-nya gitu. Jadi ini lumayan banget Bapak Ibu bisa mendapatkan benefit karena Bapak Ibu sudah mengajak teman-teman mahasiswanya untuk mengikuti program Red Hat Academy. Jadi di tahun ini ketika Bapak Ibu juga mendapatkan students lebih dari 100 ya, itu dinyatakan advance gitu. Mungkin Bapak Ibu bisa cek di emailnya apakah dapat email dari Michelle gitu mendapatkan benefit program excellence steering program excellence. Beberapa sudah ada yang meredeem dan bisa mendapatkan gratis exam untuk 1 students dan 1 instructor. Studentsnya ini student ambassador. Betul. Oh iya, yeah. Oke, silakan Pak Ateza.
One second. So you will find I could understand that Putri is talking about the excellence program. Okay,
yes.
you will find all the information. Just click on the link which I've shared in the chat box. I can also share my screen and show it to you quickly, just 10 seconds. So you'll find all the information here, right, on this link. So what is this excellence program? What are the benefits? And what are the program requirements? You'll find it on this link.
And also on the group for the link.
Yeah, you can share this in the group as well.
Yes, already.
Yeah, Park Adrian has raised his hand. So
silakan Pak Adrian.
Simple question Mbak, ini eligible-nya dihitung dari yang ikut kelas every participant or the finish one? Total number studentnya ini dihitung dari yang ikut kelas aktif, atau sampai yang menyelesaikan kelasnya Mbak, atau yang
sampai yang menyelesaikan kelas finish. Actually the students number of students based on the instructors at and active. Jadi if the students not active itu nggak dihitung Pak.
Putri, what was the question, please?
The question is the number of students. Based we get the number based on the instructors at on our Red Hat Academy platform and active, access the chapter and access the labs. Correct?
I mean, honestly, I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
What is
the question? Can you just tell me the question?
The question is the number of students, or what I have shared this on this slide. Pak Adrian asked about the number of students. This is based on the active students, right?
Yeah. So it is based on the
2025.
Correct. It is based on the students who are accessing the content and the cloud lab on the platform.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, let's take the first row, Atma Jaya Catholic University. They may have 200 students on the platform, but out of 200, maybe say only 137 are accessing the content, right? So that's why only 137 is mentioned over here, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, like what is the count of the eligible? Who want to finish the course or just accessing? I mean, based on the process, is it required to finish 100% of the course and then it will count or not?
Eligible for what?
The number of
For the
students which
stats.
Yeah,
count.
so just to tell you, like, as long as the student, even if they log in once and they open a page, okay, they go through maybe couple of pages, like, no, they become active basically. So it is not 100%. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it is not 100%. Suppose, like, if I am a student, if I have never logged in, logged out, like, and if I have never opened the book, then that will not be considered here. But I need to, if I log in, okay, open the book, go through a couple of chapters and all, pages and all, then I'll become active. I'll become active on the platform basically. So it is
Okay.
not, it is not 100%. It could, it could,
Yang penting aktif
it could be
Pak Adrian.
1%. It could be 1% also.
Iya,
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for explanation.
iya. Kalau untuk ya, maybe Pak Adrian, I want to add more about the eligible status. Mungkin beberapa students itu not eligible ya statusnya karena dia dalam satu kali pertemuan hanya loginnya satu kali
Yeah.
selesai gitu Pak.
Okay.
Jadi
Okay, Mbak.
di setiap chat next until finish in one apa sih kayak session gitu. Jadi
Yeah.
dia harusnya 3 kali pertemuan gitu Pak. Jadi 3 kali
Yeah.
login logout, ya mengakses chapter dan labs-nya gitu, virtual labs-nya nanti bisa statusnya akan jadi eligible. Nah itu mempengaruhi untuk mendapatkan diskon ketika dia mau exam Pak. Jadi eligible status dia bisa 50% gitu. Kalau misalkan nggak eligible itu nanti nggak bisa dapat diskon 50% untuk ketika dia mau exam gitu Pak. Jadi solusinya ketika dia sudah gimana Pak?
Ya ngerti Mbak, artinya yang tercatat
solusinya jadi ketika dia misalkan gagal, iya betul Pak. Jadi mesti diulang lagi course-nya. Kalau misalkan dia not eligible, mau nggak mau dia ulang lagi. Kalau misalkan kok nggak bisa, saya join ulang gitu, mau nggak mau dia bikin Red Hat ID yang baru gitu Pak. Karena dengan same course dia nggak bisa, satu students nggak bisa join di course yang sama. Mau dia bikin dengan email baru RKN-ID-nya. Tuh. Makanya pentingnya kita dari awal, baik seperti itu Pak. Jadi dari awal kita harus info ke students bahwa chapternya jangan langsung dihabisin gitu Pak. Jadi minimal 3 kali pertemuan gitu.
Oke, thank you Mbak.
Thank you Pak Adrian.
Yeah. Okay, I can see one question by Park Willie in the chat box. So yeah, so a couple of answers to this is, first of all, so 2 answers. One is that we have recently launched this RH304 course, which is just, I think 16 to 24 hours course. Everybody can do this course, along with like a DO 101. DO 101 is introduction to OpenShift or DevOps application. Anybody can do these courses. Okay, so RH304 is same, 18 to 24 hours, and it covers new features in Red Hat Enterprise Linux 10. Coming back to a question RHEL 10 version, when it will be released? Okay, it's not released for a while. Okay, you're talking about the product. Okay, we are talking about the courses, right? So this year, I think both the version will get released, for 124 as well as for 134. Both the versions should be on the learning platform this year, basically. So RHEL 10, the product was released, right? Okay, not the course. Okay, but yeah, good question. The courses in the RHEL 10 format, basically for 124, 134, they should get released this year, right? But in the meantime, please, cover RH304, which is 16 to 24 hours. It's a great course. New features in Red Hat Enterprise Linux, right? It is there on the platform, and Yeah. And again, like, no, I mean, I'm requesting, this is my sincere request, like, no, let's not look at 5, 10, 15, 20 students now. Let's look at minimum 500 students, right? This year from each of your institution, right? If you see, Putri just showed those advanced and premier, institutions. So most of them, they are teaching, 200, 300, 400 students, right? So let's look at least say 500 students, because we would like many academies to like to get into the advanced and premier tier early next year. So let's keep that goal. We have a DO 101 course, very basic course. RH 304 very basic course, can be done by anyone. So please, like, I mean, ensure that all your student, they do these courses, right? Align with your curriculum, and if possible, integrate it in your curriculum. And let's, like, for each institution, let's keep a goal of minimum 500 students, which I think is easily possible. All these skills are heavily demanded in the marketplace. Skills like Linux, cloud, DevOps, cybersecurity and all. And we are networking and all, we are covering everything, right? And this will help students to get jobs, right? And this is free for them now. So let's give them that benefit, and let's get minimum 500 on the platform this year from each one of you. Yeah.
Iya, thank you, Shirish. Mungkin Bapak Ibu ada yang ingin ditanyakan lagi? Kalau ini saya share beberapa students yang sudah bekerja ya melalui Red Hat Academy Talent Network. Beberapa ada yang magang, ada yang full time, ada yang sudah berhasil diterima ataupun tidak berhasil join ya. Itu berbagai alasan karena tidak bisa bersedia bekerja di Jakarta, karena kebanyakan kita memang lowongannya untuk based on Jakarta. Mungkin Bapak Ibu tadi seperti yang Sherry sampaikan, bisa mengajak students sampai 500 students di setiap tahunnya, karena semakin banyak talent yang diciptakan oleh institusi Bapak Ibu, semakin besar pula kita bisa menyalurkan mereka ke partner maupun customers Red Hat. Gitu. Tidak hanya di Indonesia, Red Hat Academy Talent Network ini worldwide, jadi mereka berkesempatan untuk bisa bekerja di luar negeri melalui program Red Hat Academy Talent Network. Karena banyak juga beberapa yang cerita teman-teman students punya pengalaman sudah ikut course, bahkan sudah exam Red Hat, bisa bekerja di rumah ya, remote worker, tapi perusahaannya itu di Singapura ataupun di luar Indonesia gitu. Bahkan dari, mungkin Pak Hafiz hari ini join atau tidak ya, dari SMKN Adiwerna, nah ini ada Pak Hafiz juga, sudah mendapatkan banyak benefit ya dari program Red Hat Academy Talent Network. Jadi students yang dari level SMK itu bisa mendapatkan beasiswa di salah satu programnya partnernya Red Hat, melanjutkan kuliah di BINUS gitu melalui kerjasama kita Red Hat Academy Talent Network ini. Jadi sangat menguntungkan bagi mereka yang bisa mengakses course-nya Red Hat, apalagi gratis gitu. Everything is free, but if the students want to continue to upgrade their skills, they need to pay with special price exams ya. Examsnya jadi kita misalkan untuk students 50%, untuk instructors itu 75%. Only for students yang aktif. Kalau misalkan students yang sudah lulus, mereka harus berbayar dengan normal price. Even the course also the price is so premium ya, harganya cukup mahal gitu, dan belum tentu mereka bisa mendapatkan, maksud saya kayak misalkan mereka dengan lulus kuliah atau lulus SMA itu nanti bekerja, lalu pasti ada jaminan-jaminan tertentu kalau mau ikut examnya Red Hat dibiayai dengan perusahaan tersebut. Mumpung ini gratis, jadi Bapak Ibu mohon untuk memberikan akses untuk students-nya gitu. Karena ini sangat bermanfaat untuk mereka. Karena apalagi kita ada self-paced-nya juga Bapak Ibu, jadi cukup dibukakan aksesnya aja. Beberapa course yang sudah memiliki akses self-paced, dengan memudahkan Bapak Ibu, mereka bisa mengakses dengan mandiri gitu. Mungkin ada yang ingin ditanyakan Bapak Ibu di sini. Nah, ini juga kegiatan kami ya, secara offline ataupun online. Ketika Bapak Ibu membutuhkan guest lectures atau seminar atau webinar, ini free. Kita bisa support kampus ataupun SMK Bapak Ibu, gitu. Mengundang kami. Kalau misalkan outside from Jakarta, kita mengajukannya online gitu, karena kita only area Jakarta area gitu, yang bisa diakses dengan mobil. Kalau webinar kita kapan aja sih lebih fleksibel ya untuk pembicara. Pembicaranya langsung dari Red Hat. Ini kita di ITB, di UIN, sama di UI waktu itu. Kita sangat excited kalau Bapak Ibu bisa memberikan kesempatan juga untuk teman-teman students supaya lebih mengenal lagi Red Hat teknologi. Mungkin ada yang ingin ditanyakan Bapak Ibu? Nah, kalau ini untuk Students Ambassador program, beberapa kampus, dan ini belum update ya, dari SMK ANA Dewi Warna ada satu tambahan Student Ambassador. Untuk membantu Bapak Ibu agar lebih mudah mendapatkan informasi terkait Red Hat. Biasanya kan Pak dosen atau Pak guru ini pasti sibuk dengan kegiatan yang ada di institusinya. Jadi biasanya kita meminta untuk satu students yang dijadikan influencer gitu untuk kampus ataupun sekolah, biar teman-teman students di lingkungannya bisa tahu program-program Red Hat dan bagaimana cara mengakses Red Hat kelas gitu. Jadi kita membutuhkan student ambassador ini untuk membantu instructor memperlancar kegiatan Red Hat Academy. Misalkan mau ada kuliah tamu atau kebutuhan seminar gitu, itu bisa koordinasi bersama student ambassador. Selain itu, student ambassador juga memiliki experience untuk kolaborasi langsung dengan industri ya. Bahkan kita beberapa kali event kita akan memprioritaskan undangan itu untuk student ambassador gitu. Jadi mereka bisa kita libatkan nih kalau Red Hat punya acara seperti Red Hat Summit atau ada event-eventnya Red Hat global gitu, kita bisa mengundang student ambassador ini gitu.
Cara mendaftarkannya seperti apa, Mbak?
Nanti bisa
dari bagian sejarah prediksi agar masuk ke dalam kita.
Jadi nanti Bapak bisa submit aja satu students yang potensial yang memiliki ketertarikan di dunia IT ya. Biasanya sih anak-anak yang disubmit ini yang udah punya aktivitas kayak organisasi atau komunitas gitu. Mereka jadi lebih mudah menyampaikan informasi ke tim ya gitu. Jadi ke students gitu. Jadi Bapak lihat potensial anak tersebut, satu anak nanti disubmit ke aku aja, di japri ke aku ke WA. Misalkan ini boleh dijadikan student ambassador. Bahkan tidak menutup kemungkinan dia nanti akan join di excellence tiering program yang tadi Shiri sampaikan gitu. Jadi untuk student ambassador yang aktif nanti akan dapat kesempatan untuk gratis exam gitu. Salah satu benefitnya di tahun ini itu Pak. Cukup disubmit satu anak aja, nanti yang seleksi itu Bapak langsung.
Oke, baik, Mbak.
Iya.
So you can like ask, please feel free to ask, because this is not a kind of a, we don't want it to be some kind of a canned or a one-way presentation. I'm sure you would be having many questions about the courses, the certification, the learning platform, the learning community, talent network, anything like, please feel free to ask because this is the right forum. Okay, so any question is welcome. I mentioned a couple of very basic courses in the chat box. So I spoke about RH304, which is new features in RHEL 10. There is this RH104, which is getting started with Linux fundamentals, couple of days course, can be done by anyone. And then introduction to OpenShift or DevOps application, right? This will be there till only 30th of September, but still your students have time to do these courses. The DO 101 I'm talking about. It will be there till 30th of September. Okay. And this can be done by any of your current student, basically. So these RHA program is only for your current student. This is not for any outsider, any external student. This is not for the working professionals, and this is not for already graduated student, right? Your alumni. It is only for your current students who come to the campus. Yeah. Questions, please.
Bagaimana Bapak Ibu, ada yang ingin ditanyakan? Atau sudah clear? Oke, thank you Pak Willy. Jadi memang
Again, I'm requesting all of you, like, no, I mean, we are not looking at 10, 20 students. Okay, let's get, 500 students this year. Like, let's look at some big numbers, right? And because these all courses are free, so let's give it to the students. They can do it in a self-paced mode. Okay, let them get a benefit out of it, because it will help them make employable, right? So let's look at minimum 500 to 1,000 students this year from each of your institution. Okay, this is not for only 5, 10, 15 students. No, let's give it to all your current students who come to the campus to do their courses, like, so let's look at some big numbers and possible numbers, right? I mean, we can easily cover 500 to 1,000 students in your institution under this program.
Ya, Bapak Ibu, jadi ada beberapa informasi juga kebutuhan customer sama partner kita itu bagi students yang sudah mengikuti course Red Hat yang OpenShift ya. Jadi ini untuk fundamental level, tapi ini sangat membantu gitu, memperindah CV students gitu. Kalau sudah punya experience, apalagi sudah ikut certification exam gitu. Jadi mohon di share mungkin ke teman-teman students atau boleh ke komunitas gitu, atau melalui student ambassador program tadi gitu. Karena nanti setelah mereka ikut course ini yang kami berikan, CV mereka boleh banget nanti dikumpulkan ke student ambassador itu, nanti koordinasi bersama saya akan promosikan ke beberapa partner dan customer Red Hat gitu. Karena memang kebutuhan kita semakin bertambah untuk talent, jadi kendalanya itu yang dialami oleh customer kita gitu. Siapa saja partner-partnernya Red Hat gitu, itu kita sangat banyak sekali partner, salah satunya ada Metrodata, ada Ivatama, ada CTI Group gitu ya. Mereka beberapa kali merekrut, bahkan sering banget sih sampai saat ini gitu, untuk menyalurkan students kami gitu ke mereka gitu, ke beberapa project-project bersama Red Hat gitu.
So Putri, can you just take it to the cloud computing courses slide, because there is one question. Yeah, this one. So Park Adrian, to answer your question, like, no, I mean, if you ask me honestly, then here we have two very good courses. CL110, which is introduction to, I mean, which is OpenStack or hybrid cloud administration, and then DO188, which is, introduction to containers with Podman. Now, DO188 maps to EX188 exam, right? So students should do these courses one by one. Okay, not like, they should not be active in all the 4 courses, because these are all highly technical courses, right? They are not like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Students will not be able to understand anything out of it. Trust me. I mean, these courses are neither easy nor difficult, right? They are technical courses, right? So if you ask me about from this bucket, cloud computing bucket, then my suggestion would be DO188 is a great course. It's a dev track course, and CL110, which is a basic cloud course. So CL110, that's a basic cloud course, and DO180 is DevOps, and this is a dev course basically. We have 3 dev related courses, right? So we have this one, DO188. Sorry, there is a mistake. It is DO188. Okay, so DO 188 is a dev track, DO 180 is a admin track, basically, right? So we have 3 dev courses, right? So we have DO 188, we have Java, we have Python. Okay, 3 dev track courses. So DO 188 maps to EX 188 exam. Java, if Putri, if you can take it to that middleware patch, the next slide. Okay, so here Java enterprise, all these courses are like based on enterprise edition. So Java enterprise edition AD 183, 40 hours, which maps to the EX 183 exam. And then we have Python course like AD 141. Python doesn't map to any certification today, right? But out of these 3 courses, Java and DO 188, which is OpenShift, maps to the certification exam. Yeah, absolutely. But what I suggest is that, like, no, I mean, are you offering diploma or a degree course, right? Because what I suggest is that if it is a degree, if you're offering a degree course, maybe like you can start from first year, and every semester you can add like one course basically. I mean, if you give too many courses, then like it will become very difficult for the students to learn everything. It is not easy. As I said, these are all technical courses, so it's better that like they cover at least say 1 course in every semester. So 4 years degree course, if I'm not wrong, so that has got 8 semesters. So in 8 semesters, they can do 8 of our courses. What you can do is that you can align our courses based on your curriculum. So suppose in first year, if you're teaching Linux, then you can offer our Linux. Second year, suppose if you teach Java Python, you can align our Java Python. Third year, if you teach say cloud and DevOps, you can align our cloud and DevOps. Fourth year, if you teach, say, for example, cybersecurity or AI kind of a courses, you can align our AI and cybersecurity. So what I'm trying to say is that try to align our courses based on your curriculum, so that student will find it easy to do all these courses, and they can get best of both the worlds, basically. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Just try to align with your curriculum. Okay, so only 2 semesters. Yeah, so it's difficult, right? But then if you ask me, then I don't know, I mean, how much Linux they have done. If they have not done Linux, then I would still say like, no, my top choice is Linux and DevOps. If somebody has only 1 year, 2 semesters remaining, then I would say Linux and DevOps. So in Linux, we have 124 plus we have 134, and DevOps we have 188. So if somebody has got only 1 year, then I think they should do, I mean, from our patch, they should do Linux, sysadmin 1, sysadmin 2, 124, 134, and then DevOps, which is a dev track, 188. So it will help them to kind of get a job. If they go for certification in these areas, then nothing like it. Like, no, I mean, that would be truly awesome. I hope I have managed to answer your question. But don't give them like no more than 1 or 2 courses in a semester, because it's not easy, right? I mean, it'll put too much of pressure on them. So 1 to 2 courses remain same, right? Yes, the minimum age is 18 years. Yeah, minimum age is 18 years, correct. They need to be 18 years age. Because these, again and again, I keep saying, these are all highly technical courses. These courses, like, no, I mean, to pass these courses, it's not easy, right? It's difficult, right? It's neither easy nor difficult. These are not MCQ, multiple choice questions. These are all performance-based exam, task-based exam, assignment-based exam, right? 3 hours, passing is 70%, 210 out of 300 they need to get. We know that even the instructors and the working professionals, they find it difficult to pass these exams, right? So I said, these are not MCQ. And that is why students, when they pass this exam, for them, that respect and recognition is very, very high in the industry. They get jobs. They get a faster entry into the industry, basically. So yes, minimum age remains same, 18 years, and it will never go down. We will keep it 18 only. Because for a 15, 16, 17 year to do these courses, it's not easy. And again, like, no, for college student, like, no, I mean, we are talking about an age group of roughly say 18 to 24, right? if somebody crosses that 23, 24, then because by that time they finish their graduation, right? So once they finish their graduation, then Red Hat Academy courses are not for them. So Red Hat Academy courses, again, I'm repeating, it is only for your current and internal students. It is not for any external students or outsiders. It is not for working professionals, and it is not for your already graduated students or alumni. But great questions. Thanks for asking. Yeah, please feel free to ask questions. I can see a few more people have joined. So yeah, let's make it more interactive so that, like, because all the information is available on the Red Hat Academy site, on the learning platform, and you guys know, because you guys are all old. You are running the academy for the last 3-4 years, so you know most of the things, and that is why, like, we want to keep it recently, like, we have launched one AI course, right? AI 262. It's a 4-hour course, very good course. Again, a basic course, okay, can be done by anyone. Yeah. Once the student, they complete the course on the platform, they get the Credly badge and the course attendance certificate. The instructor who teaches in a class, he or she gets the Credly badge and the course educator certificate, and then your institution becomes eligible to get the partnership certificate, like, based on the tier, Ready, Advanced, and Premier. And Putri also already shared about the benefits of the tiering, basically. So what all, like, Ready tier RHA gets, what all Advanced tier RHA gets, and what are Premier tier Premier tier RHA gets, right? So those benefits, I've also shared the link with you. Please just go through it. It's really great program. Any more questions, please?
Bagaimana Bapak Ibu? Ada yang ingin ditanyakan lagi?
Permisi, suara saya masuk, Ibu Putri?
Masuk Pak. Pak Michael, silakan Pak.
Iya Bu, ini saya mau tanya Bu, untuk ISTS sendiri, ini sudah masuk tier yang mana ya Bu ya? Yang Ready, yang Premier, atau yang itu ya, Advance ya? Untuk ngeceknya gimana ya?
Oh, let me check Pak. Ini hanya biasanya nanti akan di email ya status dapat badge-nya itu Pak. Ini tapi bisa sih kita cek.
Soalnya kan, ya Bu, soalnya dulu kan yang ngajar kan Pak Ben nih, kan udah pindah ke saya nih, takutnya masih nempelnya ke emailnya Pak Ben, nah itu repot Bu, nanti nggak ada yang bisa buka, nggak ada yang tahu gitu Bu.
Oke. Harusnya udah update ke Bapak sih Pak Ben, soalnya kan udah di revoke ya untuk ininya, status jadi instructor-nya.
Nah itu kurang tahu.
Yeah. Shirish, Pak Michael just want to check the status of RHC for ISTTS. It is still advanced or tier?
Which tier they are into?
For ISTTS.
Yeah, so they can see from that link is there, no? So it's here. 1 second. This one. This link, let me paste it in the chat box. Yeah, you'll find all the tiering details. I mean, the
for the campus.
Yeah, for the campus here. You see all the names are here.
Yeah. Pak Michael want to see. Oh yeah.
I already can see it.
You can see it's there.
Yes. Our campus is in the list.
Yeah, but which tier? Is it Advanced or Premier?
Premier.
Super.
Okay,
I mean,
thank
if you
you.
get it, then great.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shirish. Thank you, Miss Putri.
Thank you.
Di tahun ini Pak Michael ada open class?
Ada Bu. Cuman rasanya kapan hari
ya?
Saya sudah open sekitar bulan Januarian itu. Cuman rasanya pas itu saya masih pakai emailnya Pak Ben Bu, belum emailnya saya. Nah, itu takutnya miss di situ. Ada sekitar 30, 40 atau 50-an anak, saya lupa.
Oh,
Takutnya kena di situ sih.
oke.